Hey all, John aka Whiskey and Sound, and I'm back with another episode of Boilermaker Mondays. Now, here's the new office setup. So I'll officially be doing my first episode of Boilermaker Mondays in the new gig. So yeah, we'll see how this episode goes. So I am going to, for starters, put my bloody phone down. And there we go, drop the volume and the vibration on that. Right, where was I? Yes. So, I had a visitor a little while ago down here from Sydney, and you will all know him as Aussie Drams. So, Jane Ash come past and left us with a little beer that I was quite surprised with, and he brought this over specifically to try and pair it back with something. So, we did try something, and it worked very well, but I'm going to try another whiskey with it and see how that behaves. So what I am going to... Alright, let's just talk about the beer first. So, the beer is from Pirate Life Brewing, and it is the Earl Grey IPA. So this is... quite an interesting beer, to say the least. The reason why I say interesting is because it is very challenging on the palate. There's a level of complexity about it which I really enjoyed. Very much enjoyed. So what these guys done with Pirate Bay, or they apparently have done a collaboration with these guys before. So they've gotten their hands on Dilmah tea leaves, and they've all been hand-picked. They used 100 kilos of premium Ceylon Earl Grey tea leaves. And that's direct from the region. There's a specific region in Sri Lanka which they get tea leaves from in order to make Dilmah tea. So 100 kilos they've used in with pale and specialty malts. And they've also used, I've had to run off a list here because I will forget otherwise. They've used 3 other hops called Kashmir, Pacifica, and I think it's pronounced Willamette. And Willamette is a real specialty, real herbaceous, florally, and very fruity style hops. Which that with the Earl Grey tea leaves that they've used here, there's a lot that goes on with this beer. So it's one that I will remind myself of gladly. I'm so glad I've still got a can of this. So thank you for this, Jane Ash. Really appreciate it. Now, when we were originally pairing this beer back, that's got a real cool orange, gold hue about it. That's awesome. And that smells so good. There's alright, so it's got your standard IPA, like real it's got like a passion fruit, or yeah, it's passion fruit and apricot nose, which is what I get from IPAs. And then it greets you with something else. And that's what I really enjoy about this. I do say that it does challenge the palate, and also gives the nose a bit of a, hey, what's going on with this? So this is a pretty cool IPA. Sits at 6.8% as well. So it is definitely one that's alright. Yeah, you can smash it down in the summer, but tread lightly because it is a little bit more than your usual 5%ers. So, but there is that herbal note about it. And there's also a... Yeah, there's... What's that note that I'm picking up on? It's like a lavender note. That's also what I'll probably pick up on. Yeah, that's actually probably what it is. It smells like lavender. I was trying to think of what... There's a floral note about it. But... Yeah, it's not like your usual floral notes that you'll pick up on, whether it be something with something with this kind of complexity, like something, well, in some beers I've either caught something along the lines of, well, actually, you know what? Not just beers, but in whiskey alone, I've either picked up on rosewater. Sometimes I'll pick up on jasmine. Something like in the, if I'll try to describe like a tea scent or a tea flavor, I'll pick up on jasmine tea, and or like, yeah, the green tea. Um, what else would I pick up on? There will be other. They stand out like they're basically, they are big, pronounced, like rosewater you'll pick up on straight away. It's just got that distinct note about it. Jasmine stands out like dog's balls, like you know jasmine scent straight away. And so they're big, bold, right in your face kind of floral notes. So you don't miss those. Lavender kind of sneaks in there, unless it's, which I don't have on me. I do have a sample bottle of it. The Old Kempton, they came out with a. Actually, would that work? Have I got some of that here? I just thought about that. Oh, damn! I don't. I need to find that. You know what? I need to pick up some more of this beer, and I'll see if I can pair it back with that. Because I can pick up. It's got a lavender note to it. Now, the way that the lavender note is, it's just subtly put in there. Like, you really got to look for it, and that's what I'm finding with this. But anyway, so that's what I'm getting just on the nose. And I get that. Oh, yeah. So that's such an easy drinking. Oh, that is an easy drinking beer. It is refreshing. It has tea leaf grace about it. It is, yeah, there's a few things going on with it. I really, really enjoy that. When we first tried pairing this back, we went down the direction to try to bring out more of the tea leaf. I want to try to aim for a compliment, but I want to make it like a tea and like a tea breakfasty kind of, like an English breakfast Boilermaker. That's probably the best way we'll look at it. So I want to look for something that's a bit, pardon me, got the hiccups. Probably go something a bit creamy, something like a shortbready. That would probably be really good. So I start thinking along the lines of Highland whiskey, and that should serve its purpose. So I've got, but having said that, you could go the other way with it, and you know what? It's going to be one of those Boilermakers where I'm going to try a couple and see which one goes best with it. Because I'm also thinking that a bourbon or a rye could possibly go with it. I'm going to try an Aussie rye with this one. Or, actually, no. 4-grain. Why not? Oh, I'm going to try that one. And I'm also going to give... Where did you go? Where did you go? Right. No, I'm not going to go down that path. I think. Right. So I've got sample bottles left. Oh, that's very buttery and grassy. That could work. That could work. All right, so that's Glen Keith Distillery Edition. So that's not a very common bottle that you'll find here. Actually, you won't find it here in Australia. You'll find it. Well, I purchased this bottle from the auction sites in the UK. So, and that's at 40%. That's fine. The whiskey that we tried it with was Hidden Spirits Aberfeldy 10-year-old, which is a Highland, and that's released at cask strength. That's very, very nutty, quite spicy. So it could almost work with the Japanese whiskey as well, if yeah, because we really enjoyed it with this too. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'll give myself a. Actually, is that clean? No, it's not. I give myself a really, really got to learn how to talk. Okay, give myself a taster, a little reminder of what we experienced with this particular pairing. But I'll be curious to see how it goes with this Wild River full grain whiskey. So this is a mash of Atherton Tablelands corn, malted rye, wheat, and barley. So this was also, it's matured in virgin American oak barrels, and that is it. Yeah, there's nothing much more to it. How long it's matured for, I couldn't actually tell you. Yeah, I can't remember if that was a 3-year job or if that was a 4-year job. Yeah, that's kind of slipped my mind a bit. But that's straight out of Queensland, top of Queensland, up in the mountains there. It's Wild River Mountain. But I'm going to double check it with the Aberfeldy 10 as my reference point as to what direction I want to take this Boilermaker in. So, all right, bear with us for a sec. Oh, that is such a gorgeous whiskey, that Aberfeldy. Oh, rich. Oh, so that's got a light hint of smoke, and that's what we picked up on last time as well. It's got candy pineapple in it. Very grassy. It's nutty, very nutty. Actually, it's it's peanut butter on burnt toast. But in a good way, because there's fruits that come into it, and that's like it's yeah. If I had to boil it down into one, like it's got that real buttery, creamy texture about it, and it then goes. It does get very nutty. It's spicy. Goes into the realm of say almonds, or does it go almonds? Yeah, bit of almond. Leaning in a little bit towards cashew as well. Yeah. Oh, the finish just keeps. I love that. Love that whiskey. It's a. You know what? I didn't actually write the ABV down on that taster, so I'm kind of a bit spewing about that. But anyway, and it's got that. Yeah, the smoke comes on the palate, and then it just disappears again. So it's. Oh, that's such a lovely whiskey, that. Yeah. Oh, what a ripper of a whiskey. Anyway, so I'll do the whiskey wash, beer rinse, and then I think I'm going to go down the path of this Wild River Mountain. All right. Let's see if I can catch with the smoke. Oh, yeah. So that means creamy tropical fruits. Yeah, that's very velvety on the palate. All right, that's what we liked about it. So that did kind of create a bit of a fruit salad effect, but very herbaceous as well. And that's yeah. So it went. I had one direction in mind, then it went another direction. Not to say that it was a bad choice, but it went off in another good direction. And that was kind of cool. And that's one thing that we've always discussed about with Boilermakers. It either goes in one direction or it goes into a completely different direction. Worst case scenario, you have two separate drinks to enjoy. Right, so on that note, I'm going to reset the palate. And... But that's what it's done with the... Yeah, it needs. Glen Keith is only 40%. That's the thing. So this is quite. It's grassy. Has orchards about it, like wild orchards about it. Has a real oat kind of note, and oh, this has got such a beautiful nose. Such a beautiful nose. Oh, really gorgeous nose. Do I try it? Do I try it? Yeah, why not? It's Monday. Monday night. What could go wrong? Alright. So, Glen Keith, Space Side. I am yet to have a bad Glen Keith. It's one of my favourite distillers that's... it's very hard to come along a distillery edition bottling from these guys. So they are often found in independent bottlers. They've been down the path of Adelphi. Who else have they? I've tried. Adelphi was the first one that's come to mind. But I've tried a hell of a lot of Glen Keiths. Actually, I just finished off a Glen Keith 30-year-old, which we had in a blind tasting virtually. And that was quite the ripper. That was a sherry style Glen Keith. Actually, no, sorry, it wasn't. It was a bourbon style. You'll find that Glen Keith spirit work just absolutely shines bright in bourbon cask releases. And independent bottlers, they just tend to leave it be in bourbon barrels and just release it at that particular time where it just does its thing. Oh, candied bananas. And that orchard or that orchid note. There's a light cereal note that you'll get. There's that oat note that I'm looking for, that porridge note. But at 40%, I'm going to be... I don't know how that's going to react with this. I reckon the IPA might... Oh, maybe not. Always one way to find out. Let's have a feel. Alright, so let's go beer wash, whiskey rinse, and see what that does. Ooh, dusty fruits. Dusty fruits. Oh, yeah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, that's definitely something different. Went off in a completely different direction I thought it was going to go. The candied fruits were just dropped in a office desk and left alone for 20 years, come back, revisit them, and they've gone syrupy and dusty. And that's what I'm getting in this pairing right now. That's pretty cool. That's, isn't it funny, some of the notes that you come up with and just think, you gotta be kidding, right? And they actually enjoy that. Well, this I'm actually enjoying. This is pretty cool. Oh, that candy banana note, my goodness. That's such a... It's so yum, like, you know, like you just get that real... Those lolly bananas. I used to just sit there and just chew on them for days. And that's what I just want to do with this glass, knowing that I'm smelling it in the glass. It's gorgeous stuff. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. And that's just their distillery edition release as well. So that's a trick to come by that you won't pick up like in your general stores. You'll have to either order that. I think you can't even buy that online. You have to from the distillery direct. They don't sell direct to the public. It's the kind of bottling that you can only pick up if you head to the distillery, like the cellar door, and grab it from there. Walk home with it. That's your only way that you're going to get those bottles. So they will occasionally pop up in the auctions, which sell. I was fortunate enough to find one, but then there's toffee notes are coming through. Gorgeous. Yeah, real good. Okay, let's try whiskey wash, beer rinse. See how that goes. So we've gone from the beer wash, whiskey rinse, which has turned into dusty candy bananas. Let's see what happens now. Oh, I forgot how good that bloody whiskey is. Oh, mate, that is yum. Oh, syrup for days. My goodness, I just feel glazed internally. Oh, that is so syrupy. Oh, from 0 to diabetic in 2 seconds. Woo. Oh, that was brilliant. Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. Once again, that went in another bloody direction. That is so cool. Oh, I love it. Oh, that was so sugary, syrupy, just big, real big. So we've gone from dusty lollies to just golden syrup. Oh yeah, yum, yum, yum. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I like it. Yeah, I'm so glad I tried that with it. So definitely, all right. What works with this particular beer? Go a Highland whiskey and stuff. And you know what? Even like that's a reduced AVB, a reduced ABV, and that was fun. I had a lot of fun with that. I probably had more fun with this. Yeah, I had probably more fun with this than what I did with the Aberfeldy 10-year-old. So that's perfect proof that a Highland whiskey was always going to work well with it. But a bourbon and rye would definitely go with this. So yeah, that'll definitely work really well. Right, well if that's the case, that was the Aberfeldy 10. Oh my goodness, that is. Hidden Spirits, they nail it every time. They do some good stuff. I'm curious about. Also got the bottle next to me. I've also got the beer still here. I'm gonna do the 4 grain with it. You know why? Because it's Monday. Alright, so Wild River Mountain is one of the distilleries up in Queensland that I have grown to really appreciate, enjoy their spirit, love the direction that they go in. So this was a small batch release that they decided to go 4 grain with. Wes Marks is a big bourbon drinker, loves American style whiskey. So, and I know he's got a thing with his Shiraz cask finishes on his single malt releases, which is the Elevation series, which I have sitting right there. That's his batch 3 next to his rum that I believe I've done a Boilermaker with. And this is, yes, this one was batch number 3. I've got a sample of batch 2 missed out on his very first release though that he done, as far as his small batch was concerned. So yeah, so this was the mash bill once again was corn, malted rye, wheat and barley, and this is finished off in American virgin oak. Okay, maybe this might work. Oh yeah, that's all coffee note, barley sugar. Oh yeah, that's espresso coffee. Very buttery, very buttery. Actually, it's got like an Anzac biscuit. Yeah, it's very Anzac biscuit style. So there's a gingery note, like a ginger snap, the oats, and super buttery. So it's, yeah, it reminds me coffee, Anzac biscuit. Let's see how that coffee note goes mixing with your Earl Grey. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's really... On a beer rinse, this just goes super syrupy, like just golden syrup or molasses style. That's... So, maybe... I'm going to be trying 600 different spirits with this thing tonight. It's just one of those things. It seems to go well with Highland whiskey. Or, yeah, Highland style Scotch, I should say. And actually, let's try it other way around. Okay. Super spicy. Yeah, real super spicy. Alright, so that worked out kind of different. I have to say that my preference, though, with this particular beer was definitely the Glen Keith Distillery Edition. That just worked so well. I love that candy, like that dusty candy apple, dusty candied banana lolly effect, and then swapping it over when you go beer wash or beer rinse actually, and then it just turns into just mega golden syrup. It was just big, so big. Well, that's gonna be my pick of the night. So yeah, definitely try if you can get your hands on one of these. Try it with a Highland style whiskey. That's actually the Glen Keith edition is, well, distillery edition. That's Speyside, but it's got a Highland feel to it. Well, you know what? If you really want to get technical about whiskey from Scotland, the region of Speyside sits in the Highland regions, so it's just a specific spot within the Highlands. So technically, it's a Highland whiskey, but it's from the Speyside region because it's off the River Spey, or because its source is from the River Spey. So, but a Highland style whiskey would definitely work with this beer. A bourbon and a rye definitely would work with this, and I'd almost be willing to try this because it's got, on the beer wash, or on the beer rinse I should say, it tends to go syrupy. So I'm just trying to think of whether or not you try it with a rum, an Aussie rum would probably be the best one to try it with. And then it goes in that direction where it will cancel out the molasses or the sugar cane or whatever, and it'll dry out whatever's in the backbone of that rum. So maybe that might work too. You know what? If you get your hands on this can, try it with an Aussie rum, like that rum release that I've got in the back there from Wild River, Wild River Mountain, or Lord Byron. Try some of their rum. But yeah, if you happen to get your hands on any of them, let us know how you go with it. So this thing's dragged on for just about half an hour because I've decided to go 3 different drams of this particular beer. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of these, call it a night. So if you've stuck around for it, thank you so much for watching this. And yeah, cheers for joining in with all the experimentations. And thanks for those that are leaving me with beers as well to work with. So I bid you all a real cool evening. Like and share, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch us all on the next episode next Monday. Have a good one.